I think we're going. I think we're live. I think this is really happening.
Did this idea come to us today or yesterday? Yeah. Have we been talking about doing a podcast like this for so long? Also, yes.
It really has been like something we've talked about forever. I feel like the very first time we met was basically a podcast.
Kinda. Yeah.
Like we sat there for like 3 hours. Okay, first of all, hi viewers. Oh my gosh. Let's address the elephant in the room. There's people finally listening to this conversation between us.
Hello,
The
all.
conversations that shouldn't have left the group chat or leaving the group chat.
I know, it's crazy. They're like little clouds flying away into the universe. Welcome to Share with the Class, episode 1. It really is happening. I can't believe it. Okay, wait, first for audio listeners. My name is Katie May.
And my name is Mackenzie.
Welcome to Share with the Class.
Hang on, there's another elephant in the room besides the viewer.
Is that the fuzzy arm?
It is the fuzzy arm. No, come here.
This is like its formal introduction.
Okay, fine. Don't be on camera.
His PR team is going to reach out to you.
Yeah, they have to reach out for an inquiry. They have to get him on the books, Nugget's a really busy guy. Nugget is my dog. Nugget is my 1-year-old Chiweenie puppy who I adore with my whole heart and soul.
He can be a little bit of a menace sometimes, but he is just so perfect to me. And if you hear squeaking in the background, first of all, no, you didn't. Second of all, that's Nugget.
This is like a soft launch.
Yeah.
Oh. Wait, the soft launch immediately went to hard launch.
Video viewers, you can see them. If you're an audio listener, tune in on YouTube. Tune in on social media. We've got Nugget on the pod. Nugget, what do you have to say for yourself? You heard it here, folks. In my background here, I've got my giant Chapel Roan poster for the subway. My friend Caroline and I stole this off the streets of Sunset Boulevard. We've got behind me a giant wall of signed vinyl. Let's do a rundown. Short and Sweet Deluxe, Brat, Eternal Sunshine signed version. Yeah, that's a flex.
Yup.
Midnights, Deeper Into the Well, Casey Musgraves, Lady Gaga Mayhem, and Man's Best Friend signed cover. Also, yeah, I'm flexing on you guys. Sorry.
Katie May's vinyl collection is one of the best vinyl collections I think I have seen.
Oh my God, I'm honored.
It's your special skill.
I love my vinyl collection. I also love to camp out for vinyl, like a special vinyl, like these signed Sabrina covers. For those, I had to be at Super Vinyl, which is like my local record store, like a few hours early. I've camped out overnight for vinyl. Shout out Record Store Day. Shout out Wicked Vinyl. Yes, I am trying to go 2 for 2 and get Wicked for good.
And I think it's an essential.
I'm nervous for Record Store Black Friday because I am going to be home for Thanksgiving. I'm from Missouri, and the weather in Missouri is very different than the weather in Los Angeles, especially in late November. So camping out for vinyl is going to be significantly more difficult for Black Friday, and I'm a little nervous about it. So we'll see how it goes.
We've got some fun things going on back here behind me. We've got Eli Rollo's first book, I Didn't Know I Needed This, second book coming out in 2 weeks. Does anyone else feel this way? Go get it. I have mine pre-ordered, and I got it from my local bookstore because shop local. Some varying other books here, but my favorite book is my Hamilton coffee table book from my middle school Hamilton phase that really never left me, and it's become the lifetime Hamilton phase. And this little cute box that my mom gave me, it has some Eras Tour confetti in it and different things from my travels and such. And there's some more things up there. That right there is my child, Miss Gracie Witten. Shout out.
She'll be a guest on one of these episodes.
She will be a guest on one of these episodes. I think that's a perfect segue into how we met. So we met at Baylor.
Yeah, sick and bears. We were Texas girlies. I started college during the pandemic. Not necessarily an entirely relevant detail, but I was a college pandemic girly. It was a very interesting experience. Fall 2020, I did virtual rush during sorority recruitment. So everything was on Zoom. And I remember this so vividly. I was in one of the Zoom calls with the houses. I was sitting on the floor of my childhood bedroom on the Zoom call talking to this girl. And in comes my parents' God bless her, little senior dog. She comes waddling into the room. I'm sitting on the ground with like an open cup of coffee. She starts trying to drink my coffee. And so I'm like pushing her away. And I'm like, Petal, please don't drink the coffee, as I'm trying to hold a conversation.
Not Petal. Not sweet Petal.
It was Miss Petal. I'm like pushing her away. She's trying to drink an open cup of coffee, and I'm like having a conversation. I'm like, oh my God. And I did not get called back the next day. So I blame that one on Petal.
Who was it? Which one?
It was. We'll bleep it. Shout out Petal for that one. Really, really helpful. I ended up going 80 Pi. I was in this chapter for a year, and then Miss McKenzie went through recruitment, and I'll let her tell her story.
I started at Baylor in fall of 2021 and went through recruitment in January of 2022. I ended up at Baylor because a girl at my high school, Caroline Titcher, shout out, we love her. She went to Baylor, and then I ended up not following her there, but she was a big part of the reason that I ended up going to Baylor, and she like, gave me a tour and stuff. Because I'm from Florida, for context. So moving to Texas for school was not really in my plans, and moving halfway across the country was something that I didn't really expect to do. So I knew Caroline, and I knew a bunch of her friends, and Caroline was also in 80 Pi. So I was familiar with 80 Pi. Going through recruitment, I wasn't super sure. I had like one other house that I really, really loved and really wanted to go. And they ended up dropping me in like sisterhood round, I want to say. And then I was like kind of bummed. And I went in 80 Pi and I saw Caroline, and I was like, wait, okay, this is where I'm supposed to be, whatever. And then I went 80 Pi on bid day, and it was so fun. I met one of our other great friends, Ashley Widow. Shout out to her as well. Met her on bid day, Katie Bradshaw, Emma Jessen.
All the divas.
All of our 80 Pi divas. I met them all on bid day, and they're all still my close friends to this day. And so during new member period, at least for us, we would go on kind of like recruitment dates, but with the prospective bigs. What do we call them? Like diamond?
It wasn't diamond date.
I don't know what they call them, but it was like that same concept. So like we had these like Alpha Delta mixers. That's what these stemmed from.
Yes.
Oh gosh. It's all coming back to me now. I know for a fact I have a video of you singing All Too Well 10-minute version at the karaoke one of these Alpha Delta mixers. And it's a video of you before we were even like...
I didn't know most of the people in this room as well, because it was a ton of new members who I like hadn't actually gotten to talk to yet. And so I was like, welcome, this is who I am. I'm singing All Too Well 10-minute version with my chest.
I guess that spoke to me, because I forget how the meetup happened.
I don't know who messaged each other. I think we met through Ashley though.
I think so. Like we just ended up talking at that mixer. And mind you, this is a few days before we were supposed to pick our big
We were
rival.
down to the wire.
Which I think says everything that you need to know about us. That's just kind of how we live our lives most of the time, I fear.
That's how we roll. And it works perfectly.
Yeah, it does. We found a time to meet, and we went to this place called Mac House, which it still exists, but it's not
really though.
It's like owned by the same company, and they do catering, but it's not like a restaurant format anymore.
They made the physical storefront like a lemonade restaurant.
Yeah, because that same company owns Pop's Lemonade. Shout out Pop's Lemonade. Shout out Waco, Texas. We love Pop's Lemonade. But like the people that own Pop's Lemonade owned Mac House, but they just changed their store, which I thought was so sad. We loved Mac House. And so we went to Mac House. This is like a really chilly January evening. And we got there, like, I want to say 5:30, 6. It was really early. It was while the sun was still up. I don't think we left until they closed at like 9 o'clock. We were there for like 4 hours.
The conversation just kept going and going and going and going.
And we didn't check the time. Like, we didn't have any concept of what was going on.
I remember sitting on their patio, because they only have outdoor seating. I remember sitting on their patio, like literally freezing, shivering. But I was like, conversation is going so amazing.
This is where our love of pop culture as a friendship began.
We just had so many likes and interests in common. Like, we are both huge fans of Drag Race, drag queens. We love drag, huge supporters of drag. We are both Swifties, big Swifties. Love Miss Taylor Allison, which we will delve into at a later date. We are both just lovers of like live music. We love going to concerts, going to festivals. We ended up going to Austin City Limits together, like once we really got to know each other. And
Shout out ACL.
Shout out ACL, literally going next weekend. I am so psyched.
Cried
So sorry.
in Atlanta.
So sorry to bring it up in your presence, Mackenzie.
I think the biggest thing though, and this would be in the words of the wise Dr. Taylor Allison Swift, our invisible string, if you will. Mackenzie was a dancer in high school, and I was involved in marching band, and both of our high schools in 2019 went to the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade. Katie May from the future here. I'm currently editing that clip. I don't know what on earth possessed me to call it the Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade. It was the Thanksgiving Day Macy's Parade. Anyways, let's continue. Which was an insane experience, was an absolute blast, had so much fun. We were both in the parade, didn't know each other at the time, had never met once, and it wasn't until like 3 years later we were sitting in the Mac House parking lot patio, because it was basically a parking lot, their patio was.
Well, because we were talking about the cool, like, the stuff that we did before COVID changed the world, basically. The parade, like, obviously things like the Thanksgiving parade was in November and shutdown happened in like March. So that was like, November was kind of one of the last big things. Like, that was one of the last big things that happened. Here we are. Finally, we went to the Macy's parade we're in the Macy's parade the same year. And to bring it to one of our favorite pop culture topics, Broadway. This is really the craziest part. I think y'all are gonna gag. Get ready, strap in. So, because we realized that we were in the Macy's parade the same year, and we were like, okay, like let's see if we were maybe at some of the same stuff. Because my mom and I went to a bunch of Broadway shows that week, and we were trying to see if there was any overlap. Come to find out through comparing our photos,
timestamps and all,
we went to the same show of Wicked the week of Thanksgiving in 2019 and sat only a few rows apart.
We were breathing the same air.
Yeah, we were like 5 rows apart, I think.
Pretty crazy.
I think it was that moment in particular.
Like something switched in both of our brains.
It clicked and we were like, okay, we need to be friends. 2 days go by and we prep each other for Big and Little. And do you want to get into?
I would love to.
For those unfamiliar with Greek life,
you do a big reveal. At least for us, that's how it worked. And so we did box reveals where you get a giant cardboard box and you decorate the box and you dress up in costumes and then you pop out of the box and you're like, I'm your big, congrats, or sorry you have to deal with me. It depends on the person. And so everybody came up with a bunch of different themes, and a lot of them, because these are like Southern Baptist sorority girls. And so a lot of the themes are like, I want to look as cute and as pretty as possible. That was not the case for us. I decided that because I was the big, so I chose the theme, and Mackenzie just had to kind of deal with it. I decided our theme would be, drum roll please, Bob Ross. So I went to the store, I got an afro wig and a button-up shirt, and I bought Mackenzie a plain brown shirt, fake leaves, safety pinned the leaves onto the brown shirt, and I said, Mackenzie is my happy little tree, because she is my little.
Round of applause for creativity. No one was doing it like you at the time.
It's true.
We began a trend, I think, of the funny Big Little reveal themes.
And I'm so glad that's becoming a thing. We're Big Little, and now there's like an entire family. There's so many. I'm like a great I'm old. I've lost track. I'm old. I'm ung.
Yeah, so we were kind of the beginning of a lot. Well, not really. Ashley, Kieran, and Megan were right before you. Shout out Ashley, Kieran, and Megan. They were like the beginning of our family. Katie May came along, and then she had me, and then I had Gracie. From there, our family line exploded. It was crazy. So I ended up adopting another little, Alexis. Shout out Alexis. I love both of my children so dearly. And they're both seniors now, and they're both roommates. It's so cute. I guess I'm so happy that they're living together.
They're becoming unk.
They're in unk territory. I have both of them, and then they each have a little, Taylor and Sarah. And then Sarah has 2 littles, Aaron and Maddie. And then Taylor has one little Caitlin. And together we are the Sticky Fam.
Would you like to dive into this family name? Because I was not there to. I had graduated and got on my way. I was not there to approve this family name.
So I'll let you take this one.
Thank you very much. I would love to talk about it. So going back to bestie Ashley Widow, aka Ashwid, shout out. Ashley and I were really, really close, and she like hung out with our family a lot. And Ashley would joke that Gracie and I were her sticky iPad kids, which honestly, correct title. She was
Game
right.
with the receipts.
I only speak facts out here. She kept calling Gracie and I our sticky iPad kids, and we didn't really have a name. Some people have like family names and stuff. It's not super common everywhere, but like we just didn't have a family name, and we just started calling ourselves the Sticky Fam, and thus here we are. And now Erin, Maddie, and Caitlin will be each getting a little to continue on our very large family line that will hopefully live on for generations to come. But the fam, we love the fam. My hope, dream, and aspiration is in 20 years, like to keep a running list or like chat of the whole family and do a big family reunion at some point with everybody who's been in our family for like the 20 years.
I feel the gray hairs forming on my head already.
I know. I mean, I'm up with the old guys now. I'm up with you, Ashley, Karen, and Megan.
We're in the nursing home, also known as the real world. Sometimes I'm still in the group chat with a lot of the people who are in college still.
Yeah, because they're in like the main one that gets used often.
If you're in the group chat, sorry to break your little heart, that thing stays on mute. I do not receive any notifications from that group chat because I never know what's happening in that group chat.
And that's fair because I also never know what's happening in that group chat. And I think with that, who are the people that you're listening to right now? Who are these divas?
I'm sure you guys are all wondering that. If you've made it this far, and you are wondering that, props for making it.
Going into more of individual intros will give more context as to why we're doing this via Zoom and not in a studio, if you get my drift.
She says as tears drip down my cheek.
Hello, my name is McKenzie. I am 22, almost 23. Uncle alert. I'm a Libra. Shout out Libras. Shout out Cardi B. Just graduated, which is super exciting. And I have moved to Atlanta. I'm working at a university out here in athletic communications because I want to work in college athletics. So I'm doing a GA position at Emory University here in Atlanta, and then I'm getting my master's in sports administration at Georgia State University while I'm here. So I'm only here for 2 years, but loving Atlanta so far. It's been really fun. If you didn't catch it from me working in college athletics, big sports girl, love the Pittsburgh Steelers, shout out, big Baylor sports fan. I worked for Baylor Athletics like 3 of my 4 years at Baylor. Big reality TV show girly. You know this. Basically anything Bravo. I think the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City is the best reality show to ever be on TV. Go watch Salt Lake City if you've never watched a Housewives franchise. That's the one to start with. I love reality TV. And I'm not ashamed to admit it. Reality TV is awesome. Especially, so I also majored in communications and, well, actually communication, single, no plural. Big sticklers about that in the Baylor
We were
department.
both comm girlies.
Yes, we were. And we were both journalism girlies.
Add that to the list.
I miss being deep in the heart of Texas.
I do miss it sometimes. Like, I'm going to Austin City Limits, and I'm gonna grub on some Torchy's queso.
Oh, I just realized, I just found this out the other day. We have a Torchy's here. We have a Torchy's and we have Chewy's. I got so excited. I'm sorry, I don't mean to rub it in your face, but you're literally going to get it in a few days, so I think it's fine.
And then I won't have it for like a year.
Yeah, that's true. Unless you come to Atlanta.
I will say, there is a restaurant in LA. I have personally dubbed them in my own vocabulary as Torchy's knockoff. Even the way they package their food, I'm like, this is Torchy's. It is authentic Tex-Mex. It is called Home State. I love them. If I need my Torchy's fix, it's not a 100% replica, obviously, but it's like close enough that it like is good for my soul. So shout out Home State. It does what it needs to.
Period. And then some quick fun facts about me. Honestly, kind of a confession, but the people who know me know this, and I'm not ashamed to admit it. I'm low-key a Disney adult. I'm being vulnerable on the pod. I'm originally from Florida, but I'm like live 45 minutes outside of Orlando. So I have gone to Disney literally my whole life. Yeah, I would categorize myself as a Disney adult. This summer I was home, but I couldn't get a job or anything because I was moving here, and we were like traveling. I just didn't have like the time to get a job in my hometown, and so I basically went to the beach and went to Disney. I did one or the other almost every day. It was awesome. We grew up going like all the time as a kid because my brother Brock, shout out Brock, he was allergic to milk as a kid. He wasn't like lactose intolerant. He was like anaphylactic shock, like allergic to dairy.
I did not know this broccolore.
Soy, all dairy, shellfish, which he's still allergic to, peanuts, tree nuts, and like some other things. He's basically allergic to everything. But Disney was the best place for us to go because they're so accommodating of allergies. And we knew that we wouldn't have to worry about him getting sick. And so most of our family outings as a kid were us going to Disney because otherwise my mom would have to like pack food to take with us places. Like every birthday party, every time we like, went out to dinner, like anytime we did anything, like she would have to bring food for him, except at Disney because she was so like Disney's so good at accommodating all those different allergens. And so that's just like how we started going to Disney all the time. And here I am, annual pass holder still. And I am going to Disney when I go home next weekend. I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh.
Drinking around the world with your parents, top 10 best experiences you can have at Disney.
That sounds beautiful. I've never drank with my parents at Disney, but I did do a shot ski with my dad at my friend's Baylor tailgate. So
I think that counts. That's basically it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, big spin class girl. Love cycle. The day we're filming this is the release day of Life of a Showgirl.
yup.
Yup. She's here. She's beautiful. And I commemorated the occasion because Soul Cycle and Buckhead, shout out Buckhead Soul Cycle, they did a release party ride for Life of a Showgirl. And we listened to the whole album, not in order because it had to like go with the flow of the class, but we listened to the entire album. And they played Eldest Daughter with the lights off. And I low-key cried on my Soul Cycle bike. Crying on a Soul Cycle bike is a new low. Not a new low, but like it's I don't know. You can't be humbled more than that. Who was already wrecked by that song, doing it on a Soul Cycle bike was a whole other like level of pain. I'm bringing up now because it will be talked about, I'm sure, of the pod, is my Buy Your Coffee Friday.
I love that you do this. I think this is so fun.
It's one of my favorite things that I've adopted in my routine, and it's just become my favorite thing. Inspired by Eli Rollo, inspired by her because she was posting that she did this, and I was like, honestly, that's like a great thing. So basically, Buy Your Coffee Friday is as it sounds. I don't really buy coffee all week. If I do buy coffee during the week, I use my Dunkin' Rewards. Always picking Dunkin' over Starbucks or any other chain. That's the only exception to buying coffee during the week. But I've made it my mission, especially since moving to Atlanta, because new city, there's a plethora of new coffee shops to try. And I did it in Waco as well, but there wasn't as many. So I would rotate between the same few. But I post my little coffee review on my Instagram every Friday. And especially since being in Atlanta, I've tried to try a new place every week just to also like help me get to know the city, get to know the different neighborhoods and stuff. I've had some really great ones, but I love coffee. I think I started posting these like, I want to say it was like a year and a half ago now. And it started as something I was just doing for myself, but then I was like telling my friends about it. And they're like, oh, you should post them. Like, oh, you should like post a little like rating. So I rate my coffee out of 10. I put a little description and the place and all of that. And yeah.
No, I remember when we both lived in Waco and you would post your little Buy Your Coffee Friday and I was like, wait, I've never heard of this coffee shop. So like you kind of were influencing people, at least me.
I did influence people to try Street Dog. Shout out Street Dog. I miss it so much. My favorite coffee shop in Waco. They had the best maple latte last fall on their menu. And I love maple coffee. That's like one of my faves. And I miss her. I told myself at the end of college I was going to buy a mug from my favorite coffee place that I found in Waco, and Street Dog it was. So shout out Street Dog. I think that's me.
All right, let's dive into the Katie May lore. I live in Los Angeles currently, but I've kind of hopped around a little bit. I was born and raised in Missouri. Yep. Or I don't know which way is correct for the camera.
Oh yeah,
One of these.
I was born and raised in Missouri, so I'm a Midwest princess at heart. Literally like punching the ground right now because as we're filming this podcast, my cousin is back home. He is currently at the Chapel Roan concert.
Happening in Kansas
Right
City.
now?
Right now. And I am here.
No.
I know.
And then next weekend, get this, Chapel Roan is going to be here in Pasadena, and I'm going to Austin. No, like, I was actually feeling violent whenever I realized that the dates overlapped after it got announced.
Why do things always work out like that? Because why is Bob the Drag Queen doing a free show in Atlanta at the park near my house the one weekend I have off and I'm going home?
I really can't be upset about it though, because like I have seen Chapel twice, which kind of segues into the next point. I love live music. I love concerts. I think it has to do with the fact that I grew up as like a big music kid. I did choir. I did band. I did like sitting down like wind symphony, marching band, swing choir, musical theater, like any of it that I could do. I did. I remember by my senior year, because I was also plagued with a dangerous case of senioritis in high school. I think half of my schedule was like choir, or like I was a assistant to our theater teacher, just anything that wasn't like actual school. I guess post-graduation and then in a post-COVID world, that really kind of translated into like living concerts. I love concerts. I love anytime I can go to a concert, especially living in LA. There are so many free concerts happening. Like, I'm not even kidding. It was a couple of weeks ago. I was sitting at home, like finishing my little work from home job. I get a tweet notification and it's like free 5 seconds of summer concert happening near you. Get our way over to the concert. We were like on the side stage, so we didn't get to actually see like the full everything, but it like free concert. Living in LA as a concert girly is truly a blessing. I absolutely love it. And then my dog. This is Nugget. For the audio only listeners who cannot see this little turd, this is Nugget. He is a 1-year-old Chiweenie. He is the light of my life. He's my biological son. I grew him in my womb. And he's so perfect to me. He's also from Missouri. Fun fact. He is from the Ozarks. I saw his picture on Facebook. The organization where we got like my childhood dog from had posted a picture, and it was this grainy, like super low quality picture. And he was just sitting there in these PJs with his big eyes. And I said, oh, I need to take him home with me. And here we are. And then I think the other big thing that people need to know about me, we will discuss my side quests on this podcast. I think a side quest, in my humble opinion, you can always go and like pay to experience something. Like you can go to an event, you can go to something and like buy a ticket. Not given to you necessarily. Some of them are like opportunities presented to you. Like I've had so many cool opportunities, like through a friend of a friend, or through like a random person being like, oh, hey, do you want to go do this? Or, okay, here's a ticket to this. And getting to experience things because of that. And I think that's what makes a side quest so special, in my opinion, is it's not like, oh, I went and bought a ticket to go do this thing. It's like, oh, I kind of stumbled into this situation or into this circumstance or event or whatnot, and I get to enjoy it. I think that's what makes a side quest so special. Sometimes they're not great. Sometimes they're really chaotic and like actually really stressful, but if you are able to take away a lesson or like some experience or even just like a fun story from a side quest, in my opinion, that makes a successful side quest. I'm always on a quest for cool ant lore. I don't know if I'll be a mom. Not to get deep on the first episode, we just met, guys, but diving into some cool ant lore. And that is some info about me, just some good things to know. I think that's all we've got for the first episode. I think that's it right now. That's a wrap. Thank you so much for tuning in. You can find us on social media you can find us pretty much on all social media at Share With The Class or Share With The Class Pod. I believe we're on at least Spotify, potentially Apple Music. I would like to be on Apple Music. We'll see. Definitely YouTube for the video viewers. Yeah, be sure to follow to see when we come out with more episodes. And we look forward to seeing you next time.